Have you ever had one of those days that just felt pivotal, like the end of an entire chapter of your life? Well, in his semi-autobiographical novel, Childhood, Leo Tolstoy captures exactly that. The final, bittersweet day a young boy spends in his family home before being sent away to Moscow. So let's step into this world and see it all through his young and very intense eyes. Right from the very beginning, we meet a narrator whose inner life is a total whirlwind. I mean, he wakes up crying, and to explain why to his tutor, he just invents this terrible dream. And right there, you see it. This is a child who feels things so deeply that the line between what's real and what's imagined is constantly getting blurry. So the day kicks off with his German tutor, Karl Ivanovich, swatting a fly right above his head. And in that single moment, the boy's feelings do a complete 180, going from pure annoyance to this overwhelming sense of love. It's really the perfect snapshot of the emotional roller coaster of being a kid. And the speed of this change is just wild. 1 second, he's lying there thinking, what a disgusting man. His robe, his hat, even that tassel is disgusting. But then, the very next moment, Karl Ivanovich tickles his feet and his heart just floods with affection. What a good person, he thinks, and how much he loves us. Okay, so after the tutor, our narrator's world zooms out a little to focus on the two central figures in his life, his mother and his father. And, the way he remembers them couldn't be more different, which tells us so much about his world. When he tries to picture his mother, his maman, he can't actually see a complete image of her. It's not clear. Instead, what he recalls are these loving fragments. Her gentle brown eyes, the soft touch of her hand, a little beauty mark on her neck. Her whole presence is more like a dream, something you feel much more than you actually see. You see, for him, all the love and warmth in the entire world are captured in just one expression. He truly believes that real beauty isn't about your features, it's about your smile. And his mother's smile, he says, just made everything around her light up with joy. It's the emotional core of his whole universe. Now, in really sharp contrast to his mother's gentle presence, we meet his father in the study, a room that just feels serious, masculine, and honestly, a little intimidating. He's right in the middle of this tense discussion about money with the estate manager, and the air is just thick with authority and all these heavy adult concerns. The father, he's a man of the old world, super charming, confident, a gambler who loves women. Basically a product of the 18th century Russian gentry who's now living in the 19th. But he's also incredibly morally flexible. He could describe the exact same action as either a charming little adventure or a terrible sin, all depending on his mood. He's this fascinating, unpredictable force. And then the father drops the line that just shatters this perfect little world. Just like that, the boy finds out he's leaving. And not tomorrow, not next week, but tonight. This news basically sets a ticking clock on his childhood, and every single moment for the rest of the day is suddenly incredibly precious. With that news hanging over his head, the narrator steps outside for one last hunt with his father. And out there, he gets to experience the thrill of the world beyond his home, but also the sting of his first real failure. Tolstoy paints such an incredible sensory picture here. I mean, you can almost feel the sun on those golden fields, hear the insects buzzing all around, and smell the wormwood and dry straw in the air. For just a moment, the boy is completely free, totally lost in the adventure of it all. But then, disaster. He sees a rabbit, and in his excitement, he screams, scaring it away. He's ruined the hunt, and the huntsman gives him this look of pure contempt, and the boy is just crushed by a shame so intense it feels physical. It's a small moment, but it's a huge lesson in the adult world of judgment and consequences. Adding to this already strange and emotional day is this character named Grisha, a wandering religious mystic, what they called a holy fool. He's a truly unsettling figure. He walks barefoot in all weather, wears heavy iron chains under his clothes for penance, and speaks in these mysterious prophecies. He really represents a world of faith and suffering the kids can barely even begin to understand. Later that night, the children secretly watch Grisha pray, and what they see is just astonishing. He's not just mumbling words, he's sobbing, he's throwing himself on the ground, and he's begging God to forgive his enemies. It's such a raw, passionate display of faith that it leaves them in total silent awe. And finally, the moment can't be put off any longer. The carriage is waiting. It's time for the final heartbreaking farewell. This is really the question at the very heart of the narrator's pain. He's not just leaving a house. He's leaving his mother, his sisters, his entire routine, the very air he breathes. The loss feels total. It feels absolutely overwhelming. Right before the goodbyes, the family all sits together in the drawing room. The doors are shut. The silence is just so heavy. It's stretched. It's thick with everything that's about to be lost. 10 seconds, Tolstoy writes, felt like an entire hour. His father tries to comfort his mother, saying something like, "Come on, it's not as if we're parting forever." But her reply, spoken in a voice that's just trembling with tears, cuts right to the heart of it. She knows what the child feels, that in this moment, even a temporary goodbye feels like a tragedy. And then it's over. It's a flurry of hugs, a final, accidental bump of heads with his mother as she leans into the carriage for one last kiss, and then the carriage is moving. He looks back and sees her walking up the steps, her head in her hands. His entire world is now behind him. So, what do we take away from this really profound story? Well, Tolstoy doesn't end with the journey itself. He ends with a reflection on the very act of remembering that journey and the childhood it represents. This is really the ultimate takeaway. These memories, even the painful ones, are a source of strength and purity that can elevate your soul. Tolstoy asks, how can we not cherish them? It's a time that will never, ever come back. And that's exactly what makes it so precious. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Tolstoy found this profound meaning in just one day. So as you think back, what is that one single memory from your own childhood that you really hold on to? What moment, for you, is the greatest source of joy?